Hey, I'd like
Hi.
to welcome you to another episode of Mission Matters. My name is Adam Torres, and if you'd like to apply to be a guest of the show, just head on over to missionmatters.com and click on Be Our Guest to apply. All right, so today is a very special episode. We are launching a brand new segment with Dr. Tina Cooper Smith, and this is going to be called Your Healing Playground. And Dr. Tina is going to come on once a month, or who knows, maybe even more in the future. And we're gonna be doing some deep dives on many different topics. Today we're gonna get into somatic experiences and a whole lot more. But first thing first, I have to say, Dr. Tina, you're looking stunning. What's going on today? You going to a premiere? What's going on?
Going to a premiere. There's a new movie that the Los Angeles Tribune is putting out called Pillars of Power. Not
Mm.
really sure what I'm going to find, but I was invited to the premiere and the red carpet and like, you only live once. I'm going to go.
I thought you were dressed up for our first launch.
Oh,
No?
absolutely, absolutely.
No, it's okay. It's not the red carpet. I understand.
Oh, it's the red tie though. It's
There we
almost the
go.
red carpet.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
Yeah.
So, first thing first, I want to get into. So, for everybody listening that hasn't maybe seen our work together, let's go a little into where we met. So, how long have we known each other now? Going on 5 years or somewhere around that time? Is that
Yeah,
right?
it was I met you sometime during COVID.
Yeah. So, I
Remember
feel like
we went to breakfast by the beach.
4 or 5 years later,
Yeah.
something like that, then you came on the show, and then we were talking about maybe doing a collaboration, and then here we are, first episode of Your Healing Playground. So for the
Love
for
it.
the audience that maybe hasn't caught our previous episodes, maybe just start with a little bit about your background and what you do on a day to day.
Yeah, on a day to day, like I came home from the office in my scrubs, So I've been a gynecologist, fertility doctor for 30 on years, 40 years as a physician, I think. Yeah, you could start doing the math. I'm old. And I'm going to take every birthday I can get. And so I'm a physician, and but I learned along the way that there was so much more to healing than
Yeah.
what I was taught in medical school, right? And a lot of it came from healing myself, right? And physician heal thyself, right? Healers should
Yeah.
all, we should be healing first. And so I've done integrative medicine fellowships, I've done sexuality coaching certifications on
Yeah.
erotic blueprints, master life coaching on transformational methods of really helping heal mind and emotion, positive intelligence,
Mm.
which is a lot of upgrading your mind and so much more. I'm like a guru, addicted to healing, right? Like
Yeah.
a guru to like because every time it's like a snake shedding skins or an
Hmm.
onion when you're peeling the onion, like you get rid of one layer, oh, there's a lot under that, and oh, there's more under that, and even this more just an hour or so ago, I was on one of our practice calls in our coaching
Hmm.
community. And so I go on because the new people are getting ready and certifying.
Hmm.
I'm like, okay, I'm here for you to practice,
Yeah.
and wow, we dove deep in 30 minutes. Like I unlayered even more, every day. So it's kind of fun.
And you already have a successful podcast. I love working with seasoned podcasters who've been working on it for a while already. So when we decided to do this collaboration, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is going to be so amazing. So talk a little bit about that because you've been doing this a while.
Yeah, it's going on 2 years of two
Yeah.
different podcasts. I started one with some friends and then pivoted and they
And
couldn't
what
do
was
it.
the name of that? We got a name drop. There's
Yeah,
content
that's
out
true.
there.
That's true. It's called Proactive and it was about producing your best life, mind, body,
Mm,
heart, spirit. And there was some issues we wanted to do video and one of the persons couldn't do video. And
yeah.
anyway, had some other issues with some freedom of speech stuff. Anyway, so that podcast was only out for about a year. And then I,
Mm,
I just loved interviewing people and
yeah.
learning and growing. And so I started my own called Your Healing Playground. And
Mhm.
again, it's bringing people in who are going to help folks recognize that there's so many ways to heal and so
Mm,
much of the healing that I talk about, like you could go to your doctor and get your drugs and get your surgery. Everybody knows
right.
those things. And I'm a freaking doctor and I'm a surgeon and
Yeah.
and I'm a surgeon's daughter and those are really good. It's not that, but life is yes and not either
Mm,
or. And we're learning your emotions are stuck in your tissues. The issues are in the tissues. So I interviewed A woman.
Issues are in the tissues?
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. I've never heard it. Come on. We're gonna have catchphrase on this
Yeah.
show? Come
Well,
on.
I'll
The
tell you
issues are in the
my
tissues.
my
What?
my catchphrase for healing, right?
Hmm.
Western medicine, 1.0, name it to tame it. You get a
Oh my gosh.
diagnosis, you
There's
get a
so much I'm
treatment.
gonna learn from you. I'm so excited.
Yeah. But
Name
name it to
entertainment.
tame it. And part of that is this we live for a lot of years and we're just breaking out of it in this conforming way to be that their body is supposed to do it this way or this way or
Mm,
this way. And so, oh, you have diabetes, you give this drug, but there's 10 different ways someone might become diabetic, right?
yeah.
Or, I'm a gynecologist and we talk about PCOS, which has now been renamed PMOS
Mm,
because there aren't cysts. It's a metabolic disorder. So they finally renamed it, but there's like all roads lead to, 10 roads lead to PMOS or,
yeah.
a lot of different roads to get to China, right? You could take a
Mhm.
boat, you could fly, you could drive. So original medicine was just give the diagnosis and then there was a one size fits all treatment, right?
Yeah.
Name it
Yeah.
to tame it. And that's very much about conforming and not personalized medicine, right?
Mm.
So I say medicine 2.0 is feel it to heal it. And
Ah,
that's
name
where
it to
everybody,
tame it, feel it to heal it, the
yeah,
issues in the tissues. I'm gonna get these. These are so catchy,
yeah,
by the way.
right. So, like, think about chiropractic. The girl I interviewed, she started down her path through chiropractic
Mm.
medicine, and then she took like 10 different specializations and different things,
Right,
right?
right.
But we're a body, and we talked at the very beginning, somatic experience.
Hmm.
We're a body with a mind, but
Hmm.
we've been trained that a mind is the dictator of the body. And
Yeah.
that dictators aren't good, right?
Yeah.
We've seen that, right? Do you want to live under a dictator?
Yeah.
No, democracy, every taxation without representation, right? That's why America, we're
Hmm.
coming up on 250 years. And your body is an ecosystem,
Hmm.
and all the cells want to be heard,
Hmm.
all the cells want to be witnessed, all the cells want to be important, right? That's the issues in the tissues. So,
Mm.
medicine 3.0, which is what I talk about, is collaborate to liberate,
Mm.
right? Where we're
Collaborate
listening,
to liberate.
liberate.
Yeah. What
Yeah.
drives, so one thing that I've been meaning to ask you too is
Yeah.
Dr. Tina Plays, name of your company. Where'd you come up with that?
Well,
And I know
I
you have
thought,
multiple companies, you have your practice and you have
yeah,
other
yeah,
things,
yeah.
but that
But
one I was just so curious. Dr. Tina Plays.
because it's a nice euphemism for the
Hmm.
somatic exploratory experience that life is, which is a euphemism for sex.
Mm. Mm.
And plays is pleasure, love yourself,
Hmm.
accept yourself, know your why, and life is a team sport.
Yeah.
Okay. So they're all acronyms for how to trust life and
Mm.
accept life and accept this body that we own.
Mm.
What Einstein says, and he's kind of smart, right?
Mm.
Smarter than most of us. You can't solve the problems with the same thinking that caused them.
Right.
But we live in our minds. I was a head on a stick for so many years. I even remember my kids, like, this is kind of maybe TMI to all my patients that didn't know I wasn't being as confidential as I thought I was, except it didn't have their names on it.
Of
But
course.
if I'm in the OR and I'm snapping pictures of organs
Mm.
to show them later, like, this is what your uterus looked like, this is what your ovaries look like. So a lot of times the photos would be on like the car seat. I'd come in and then I go do
Yeah.
carpool, right? And my
Yeah.
kids would come in the car. Mom, oh my God, it's another picture of the body. My body hurts. Don't show me this, right? And I'm like, what do you mean your body hurts? They're like, oh, Mom, I can't see a picture of the body. My body hurts. And I was like, I just don't
Wow.
understand that.
Mm.
Right. But I grew up not feeling my
How
body.
young were they at this time? It is fascinating to me how people
Elementary school.
so they're young, right? They're learning, and this is how they're learning about body parts and other things like that.
Oh, I could tell you like such funny stories, of the conversations that ended up in my car, in my carpool.
Oh my gosh. I'll tell
Yeah.
you how it was funny. So I have my mom when I was growing up, and my dad. So there I had my earliest paycheck. The first time I paid taxes, I was like in maybe seventh grade or so. Maybe
Oh
it was
my
seventh,
gosh.
maybe it was eighth
You
grade.
paid
No, but listen,
taxes.
This is how it relates and how it's funny.
Yeah.
So, part of it was during this time when I was that age, unfortunately, the country was going through a lot of hard times with HIV and all of that just
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
just hit the forefront back then. So that was in the news everywhere. This is when like the real world was out there, the first like reality show and Pedro passed and all these other things like the AIDS quilt, all those things are going on. So the first job that I ever had, at least where I had a paycheck and I paid,
Mhm.
I actually worked for the American Red Cross and I was an HIV peer educator. So here I am, this little
Oh,
kid. And
how
that's
old
how
were
I
you?
really learned the physicality, the mental part. And I used to do these talks, Tina, where I can't even make this up. In retrospect, it sounds crazy, but what they essentially wanted was I was the youngest person there. My mom helped run the program, so that's why
Oh,
I was
okay.
part of it. Like it wasn't like I did a casting call or anything,
Right.
but everybody else was in high school in the program. So I'm eighth grade going into high school
Right.
basically, and everybody else is, a little bit older than me. I was the youngest one, but here we are going to like college campuses talking about like the importance of wearing
Wow.
protection and all these other
Right.
things. And so double edged on this one. One edge was that's how I originally learned about, sex and
Birds
all
and the
these other
bees.
things on a
Yeah.
very technical level. And
Yeah.
even to the point of being able to speak in public about it, like in front of large audiences. But then on the other side, that's when I learned about, that little person that takes taxes out of there. I'm like, Mom,
Yeah.
where'd my money go? Take
Yeah.
it.
You told me I was making this amount per hour. Yeah. Well,
I have both. I have mixed feelings in this. This is the first time I paid taxes. So whenever I get, you get your Social Security
yeah.
statement or whatever in the mail, I always laugh at that very first like line item. So lots of different ways to learn about sex as a kid and to
Yeah.
pass
That's
on
an
that
interesting one.
information to your
That's a very,
children. For me, basically, my mom and dad sent me to school, American Red Cross.
that's an interesting one from the Red Cross. But remember Ryan White was his name, I think, right?
Mm,
He was
mm,
a hemophiliac
mm.
and he was the face of HIV
Yeah, yeah.
because he got it as a child from a blood transfusion at Cedars, and
Mm.
it was like it was no longer gay man's disease. It was
Yeah.
a humanity problem.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just saw the parallels into how you taught your kids with all the
Oh,
pictures
let me just
and
tell
then
you,
how my mom taught. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's just
yeah.
we all have different ways.
Well,
It's interesting.
one of there were two funny stories about children learning things. So I was doing carpool once on the sixth grade boys. I had two sixth graders, two
Mhm.
fourth graders, and one second grader in the car. And the sixth graders were, doing their week of learning about the birds and the bees and their flower
Yeah.
babies and such. And somehow they're in the car talking about the word masturbation.
Yeah.
And the second graders completely clueless. And the fourth graders, one's my son, one's the one, they're trying to figure out what the word means, right? Because they've never heard this word. And the sixth graders are like, oh, it's when you tell a joke and you get red in the face and I'm like, oh no, they are not allowed to know that that's the meaning because then they're going to use it wrong in a sentence and we're going to get in trouble. And so we get out of the car, and my little fourth grader, I'm like, okay, remember that word you didn't know? Go look it up in the dictionary. And we're going to talk about that word now. And I remember he got out the dictionary and goes, I still don't understand, Mom.
When you have a doctor mom, oh my gosh,
And I
that's
had to
so
explain
yeah.
in sixth grade language, but I was terrified he was going to use the word like, "Oh, look, you're embarrassed of a joke, you're masturbating," and then it would be like, he'd get in. My kid would find a way to use it in the wrong way and get in
Yeah.
trouble at school.
Yeah.
So,
How does some of that, I'm so curious from your standpoint, like, and when it comes to sexuality and things like, how does some of that younger learning with things like that, does that affect as somebody's growing, like, and their experiences there? I know for myself, when I think about like how I learned in a very technical manner, I was probably more responsible, more mature, younger, just because of I was literally going to school to teach other people how to protect themselves. So I had a different skew. But what, in your experience, like, how does that, like, that
well,
younger learning kind of affect sometimes?
so the issue, I think, a
Mhm.
huge piece is the deeper I go into really understanding sexuality,
Mm.
that aliveness energy that you feel in your body when you are checking in with your body, and it
Yeah.
might be because you're nervous, but it could
Mm.
be because you're excited, right?
Hmm.
That energy is sexual energy.
Mm.
That energy is like, ooh, I'm alive. Ooh, what
Yeah.
am I going to do with this energy, right?
Yeah.
And children have a lot of that. They got
Mm.
so much of that.
Hmm.
And that energy is the same energy that we can direct. deeply through breath work, through
Mm,
awareness somatically of our body, that's the
yeah.
same energy that allows creativity to flow.
Mm. Maybe define that for us, by the way. Somatic exploratory experiences.
Yeah. So,
Before we go further,
yeah,
just to make sure we have a good.
beautiful. Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
So somatic just means the body as
Yeah.
opposed to the mind, right? The soma is another, I think it's a Latin, probably a Latin word, right?
I'll buy that. Go ahead.
Everything in doctor speak is always Latin. Every once in a while there's some Greek words thrown in, but
Right.
it made them look like they were really smart. They had to study in Latin. My father had to learn Latin.
Wow.
And but soma means body.
Hmm.
Exploratory is curiosity.
Mm.
What am I feeling in my body right now?
Yeah.
Okay. And then an experience, your life is an experience. And every time we are in a new minute, in a new moment, in a new experience, in a new relationship, what am I feeling in my body right now? What am I feeling in my body right now? Am I feeling
Mm.
safe? Am I feeling nervous?
Yeah.
And guess what? Excitement and fear are the same sensations with different words,
Mm.
right? You take someone, the number one fear, right? Well, I just learned this. When you're a baby, the only fears you're born with are a fear of falling.
Hmm. Oh, so you're born with the fear of falling.
Supposedly, you're born with a fear of falling.
Huh.
And I forget, but most of the other fears we learn, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, but excitement, one of the most common fears is public speaking.
Oh yeah. Oh
Okay.
yeah. Yeah.
Now, if you're an actor or a ballerina and you're about to have your Broadway debut, right? And you're about to go on stage, like you've spent your entire life getting ready for this, right?
Right, for
And
sure.
you're so excited.
Yeah.
But the energy in your body, your palms are sweaty, your heart is racing, like that
Oh yeah.
nervous energy is totally there,
Hmm.
right? But you say it's excitement. And the minute you start moving your body, there's
Yeah.
place for that energy to go.
And then you're normally fine. Like you're fine.
Right.
Or once you start
Because,
speaking, or when you like once you start, you're normally fine. It's that
right,
lead up to though, the anticipation that gets a
right.
lot of people.
Absolutely. And it's the buildup of the energy that doesn't know where it's supposed to go. It's a survival
Mm.
instinct. Oh my God. And if you say, I'm excited, you
Hmm.
channel it towards your creativity and your flow and you breathe and you connect with the
Mm.
higher, whatever it is to get back in your body so you can go and flow. You can zip line. If I zip
Yeah.
line, like you're going to hear me screaming, right? But I'm going to have
Yeah.
so much fun. But if I take a cold shower in the morning, which I do pretty much regularly now,
Hmm.
can't do it without screaming.
Mm.
Like I got to let out some sound, like, woo.
Yeah.
And it's a place for the energy to flow. If you say it's fear, you're not flowing it anywhere. So
Mm.
it's there and you're terrified that someone's going to kill you, right?
Hmm.
That's this, if you go and you flop on Broadway,
Hmm.
you might get killed, right? Your career could be killed.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
somehow actors and dancers and even sports figures, right?
Yeah.
They're willing to risk death to truly live,
Mm. How
right?
does this, I'm curious, how does this, like these experiences, or even just integrating this thought process, work into channeling to like healthier lifestyle or more or better
Right.
wellness? Like, how does that channel?
Perfect. Yeah. Well, so we have fight, flight, freeze, or please, right? Our sympathetic nervous energy. Oh my God, I'm going to die. I need to constrict. I need to stare at who's going to kill me. I
Hmm.
need to get all the blood goes to my muscles in my heart because I'm going to
Yeah.
either run or fight or literally faint and play dead, right? All
Hmm.
animals do this. If you're in that mode, you're not
Hmm.
digesting your food, no nutrients.
Hmm.
You're not actually having clear thinking because you are so laser focused on I'm staring at you right now. Is
Right.
this man going to destroy me? Is he going to kill me? Am I going to be able to recover when I'm totally embarrassed? Oh my God. And there's no
Mm.
yes and flow of like, wait, there's more than yes. There's more than one way to do things. I can do it this way, right? So
Yeah.
you end up in a controlling nervous system that doesn't feed your organs.
Mm.
Your heart is beating way too fast. Your breath is very shallow,
Hmm.
right? And you're not going to digest your food. You're not going to get along with other humans because no, I have to be right. I have to be right. I have to be right
Right,
because
right,
otherwise,
right.
right? And all right. So your metabolic processes and your brain think literally change.
Mm.
Now, if you get out of this brain develops before the age of 7. It's your child survivor brain.
Mm.
It keeps you safe. If the
Yeah,
kids are going to bully you, you got to figure out how to act. If
for
it's not
sure.
safe in your home because mom and dad don't have enough food or aren't very nice or they haven't healed themselves, right? And they're screaming
Yeah.
and yelling and drinking, and you got to be hyper vigilant to make it through childhood. So it's not
Mm.
bad, but a
Hmm.
child brain, the child comes into the world much more in their body, much more in flow, much more
Right.
like whatever, right? Children do crazy stuff, right?
For sure. Yeah, yeah,
They're
yeah.
so, and it's not till they like, uh-oh, they laughed at me. Uh-oh, I got in trouble, that all of a sudden all the defenses go up, right?
Hmm. Hmm. You're kind of,
So
it's
what
kind of like you're
happens?
learning this behavior of being constrained in a way,
Yeah, you
or
learn
maybe a
to do,
different word, but like fitting in, if not
but you
constrained.
do. It's, I want to change the name of our nervous system because
Mm.
our nervous system, the language keeps us nervous.
What do
What
we
if
want to
we do
call it then? What
wrong?
would you call it?
The sensation system.
Oh, the sensation
Yeah,
system.
we're here to sense life. We're here
I like that.
to feel life. And it's not my way or your way.
Mm.
It's my sense versus your
It's
sense.
your
We say,
experience too, right? Because the
right,
experience you go through it directly affects that, right? So,
correct. So it's not my sense and nonsense.
hmm.
It's my sense
Another
and
one,
your
not my
sense.
sense and nonsense. How am I going to remember all these?
I'll have to write them down for you. But literally, if we called it a sensation engine,
Yeah.
I'm sensing that my
Or a
heart's
sensation
racing.
engine. I
I'm
like that one
sensing
too.
this.
Yeah.
And the other human can't say, no, you're not.
Hmm.
Yeah, how, you're in my body? You know what I'm sensing right now? You
So
can't know what
relating
I'm
that to
sensing right now.
name it or tame it, when you name it like a nervous system, you're kind of like you're,
You're telling people there's one way to be. You're
yeah.
either well or you're ill. Well, guess
Right.
what? I've had people who are really sick. They're living and enjoying life.
Hmm.
And then there are people who are totally well
Yeah.
and they're like so neurotic and hypochondriacal and they're miserable. And there's
Wow.
nothing wrong with them. Now,
Hmm.
there is something wrong with them because their body is constricted and stuck in a state
Right. And I
of
got to imagine, and I have to
fight or
imagine that for
flight.
some of those people being in that state over a prolonged amount of time can lead to some type of
Oh,
disease or like,
they're not
it
going
could
to
manifest
digest
into
their
something.
nutrients. Yeah, they're not going to digest their nutrients. They're not going to be curious about life. They're going to be, and I just listened to a great video.
Mm-hmm.
This guy, so I don't know if you've heard, now everything is the omics, right? Genomics, proteinomics,
Yeah.
metabolomics. So he called it connectomics. And
Mm.
they're starting to recognize that our brains are a bunch of wires,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's not just the nerves that we see, but it's the pathways.
Right.
And so the nerves that fire together wire together,
Mm.
and it's a connection, and we have connections. And so
Start calling you Dr. Seuss with all these.
there we go. Dr. Coops
Dr.
Sleuths.
Tina Seuss. No.
I love it. I love it. But connectomics, we get patterns of thinking and
Mm.
we're trying to change those patterns. So when you want to interrupt a pattern,
Hmm.
how do you interrupt your thought?
You have to think of something else or
No,
focus
you
on
got to
something.
get at, yes, yes. And the only way to really do that is to stop thinking the thought.
Mm.
How do you stop thinking a thought?
I focus on something else, right?
Right. So I typically say you got to get out of the head
Okay.
and back in your body. And the simplest little thing, we learn this in the
Mm.
people, just touch your fingers or look
Mm.
for 5 things in your room.
Hmm.
Notice 5 objects.
Kind of like a reset
Yes,
almost.
exactly. Control Alt Delete. What do you do on your computer when it's
Mm.
like, oh my God, I can't get out of the circular reasoning? Control
Yeah.
Alt Delete.
Yeah.
We need a Control Alt Delete when we start ruminating.
Yeah.
And it's our childhood survivor brain
Hmm.
that is desperately trying to protect us from death. Now, that
Mm.
death might be completely imagined,
Yeah.
right?
But
But
it's our wiring, right? So it's
right,
kind of
it's a
hard
wiring.
to escape, right?
Right. And it's basically what Shirzad Carmine says with the positive intelligence, which I just
Mhm.
love. If you're feeling a negative emotion,
Mm.
or if you're feeling negativity,
Right.
you're really thinking negativity.
Mm.
And in that moment, it's your survivor brain because you're wired to survive. Oh
Right.
my God, am I dying? Now,
Yeah.
it's not bad to have that thought. What if your hand's on the stove? You better think to take your hand away,
Absolutely. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like it's smart to have a survivor brain. Nobody wants to yell at the
Mm.
survivor brain.
So how do we like bridge? So okay, somebody's watching this episode right now. They're watching this. They're like, okay, I get it. Like, so what's the if somebody is having some troubles with
Right.
this or other things, like what are some things we can do?
I love it. So the first thing to do, number one, is be aware, is this thought serving me? Is this a positive or a negative thought?
Mm.
Is this bringing me up or down? If I'm like having a great time and there's no reason not to have a great time,
Yeah.
stay in the thought. That's
So
great.
if they're listening to this podcast and they're really enjoying it, listen to another episode.
Correct. Right. Absolutely. Totally. Right. It know
Shameless
what you like
podcaster
to
ahead,
do.
Tina. No, but
Yeah.
seriously, so okay,
Yeah.
if it's serving
But if
you,
it's
okay.
negative,
Hmm.
if they're like, oh my God, I can't listen to this woman anymore. She just goes on and on with her little freaking name it to tame it. I got to get it off. I'm just like,
Tina Seuss,
this
Dr.
is
Tina Seuss.
not cool. So step one is be aware.
Yes.
Acknowledge the negativity. Acknowledge, oh, there. My survivor brain just checked in.
Yeah.
She's not happy right now. He's pissed, right? So
Mm-hmm.
step one is acknowledge
Mm-hmm.
and know that this little person in you
Mm.
kept you alive all these years. Love
Yeah.
on them, play with
Yeah.
them. That's great. They're there. There you go. You got to reparent yourself.
Yeah.
You don't want to be the mean teacher critiquing yourself or the mean parent. I lived in my head for many years,
Mm.
internalized so many negative voices as if they were my best friend telling me,
Mhm.
oh, you should do it different. You should do it different. You should do it different. Well, that meant I wasn't good enough today, right? Like,
Mm.
so number one is acknowledge the negativity.
Yeah.
And number two, all right, so I can acknowledge it and then I can acknowledge it again and I can acknowledge it again and I'm still in the loop, right?
Mm.
So the next step is you got to get out of that left brain, that
Mhm.
thinking brain.
Yeah.
Hug yourself, touch yourself, scratch yourself, breathe.
Mm.
Notice your five senses. What do you see?
Mm-hmm.
What do you hear? What do you smell? What are
Mm-hmm.
you tasting?
Mm.
What can you touch? How
Right.
can you calm yourself down? Anything to get out of this
Mm.
and back into presence. I'm alive, and if I'm alive and I'm breathing, I'm okay.
Mm. So
So that's
something
step
like you said
one.
a moment ago, like literally just touching your fingertips can make a difference.
Absolutely.
Wow, I didn't know
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
You're getting out of your mind into your body, into this present moment.
Mm.
And then in this present moment, do I need my survivor instinct? Like if you step off the curb
Mm-hmm.
and your intuition makes you jump back and your heart starts racing and you
Yeah.
because you just missed a car that was about to hit you,
Right, right.
right? Oh my God. Oh, survivor baby. I love you. You just saved my life. Like
So you can give a shout out too. Thank you for
yeah.
not letting me die just now, right?
Correct, right? It is not bad to have a survivor instinct, right?
Yeah.
If you're at a party and or this is a better one. I heard this from a cop, okay? So
Mm.
how often do you listen to cops talk about intuition, right?
Right.
But this cop was like he was talking about like a crazy in the ER if there's a active shooter in the ER, right?
Mm.
He's like, you use all five senses. What are you seeing? What are you smelling? What are you hearing? Like be in the moment.
Wow.
Goes, and don't discount that intuition. And he
Mm.
said, that's beyond what we know, but it's protecting you. And he talked about a
Interesting.
story of a physician, such a horrible story, but a physician, some irate family member
Mm-hmm.
walked into the office screaming and yelling, I need to talk to the doctor.
Mm.
So the nurse, the administrator, who knows, goes back to talk to the doctor.
Yeah.
Now the doctor could have went out the back door. The guy's in the front screaming,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And the doctor goes, all right, I'll go talk to him. But like, if if I don't come back, look for me because he might have killed me.
Oh my gosh.
And he went out front. The guy killed him.
Oh no.
Yeah. And
Wow.
he had a sixth sense
So he
that said,
kind
this
of,
guy's
whoa.
crazy.
Wow.
And he didn't listen to his sixth sense.
Mm.
His sixth sense could have said, tell the guy to come back when he's calmed down.
Yeah.
Right.
Whoa.
So it's not bad to have a sympathetic nervous system. You want
Hmm.
to collaborate. Remember, I said collaborate to liberate.
Yeah.
Both nervous systems, the relaxed, I'm chilling, I'm doing great.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's great. And the fight or flight system is brilliant. It saves your life, right?
Dang.
And collaborate and don't live in fight or flight if you're really not dying,
Mm.
right? If
Yeah,
you
yeah.
need to be, if you're kidnapped, you need to be hyper vigilant and make sure you're staying alive. Like
Right.
celebrate
Yeah, yeah.
everything that you have in your body
Mm.
to be brilliant and also expand your mind a little bit. How can
Hmm.
I get more curious
Mm.
about a way I could get out of here? Right? Like,
So let's circle back and let's encapsulate these because I want to make sure I
yeah.
remember them that the audience does too. So the first one was what?
Well, your life is a somatic,
Experience.
exploratory
Exploratory
experience.
experience. Yes.
It,
Hmm.
please explore and always be
Yes.
curious. What's happening in my body? What's
Hmm.
happening outside my body?
Yes.
What's
Okay.
happening in my brain? What's happening in my body? Do I want to be in this brain right now?
Hmm.
I'm going back in my body because my brain is killing me. It's hurting me. It's yelling at me.
And then the next step was?
So acknowledge is the first step.
Oh, acknowledge. Yes. Hmm.
Acknowledge the pain, acknowledge the negative emotion, whatever.
Yes.
The next step, activate your superpowers.
Mm.
So the first superpower, literally, that I just taught you is get
Knowledge,
out of your
then
brain and
activate.
back in your
Yes.
body.
Hmm.
Get back in your body. There's
Mm.
way other, like what I teach is lots of different superpowers to
Hmm.
metabolize all those emotions
Yeah.
so
We're gonna have to
that,
do an episode just on superpowers, by the
yeah,
way. That's gonna
yeah.
be so good. Like,
So
so acknowledge, accept.
acknowledge and accept,
Hmm.
activate the superpowers. And
Mm.
then from there, you get to achieve the life of your dreams. Start dreaming again. Use
Dang.
your energy not for survival,
Mm.
but for thriving, for creativity.
Yeah.
And why I joke that sexuality and sexual education needs to
Hmm.
start in childhood
Hmm.
with the appropriate language,
Of
right?
course. Hmm.
And we could say you're having a somatic experience. You're having you are a sensation machine. You
Mm.
are here to have all your senses turned on. You should smell
Yeah.
things. What do kids do in school? They smell like Play-Doh, right? You're
Yeah.
smelling, you're sensing life. You're
Yes.
experiencing life through your senses, and there's no right or wrong way to sense life.
Mm. Mm.
And if you recognize as a child that you're always circulating this energy,
Hmm.
and children are like vibrating it out into the like, they
Yeah. Yeah.
don't know, you know what? This is my energy for me.
Mm.
It's for my creativity. And when that bully makes fun of me,
Mm.
that's his issue, not mine. I'm just going to keep my energy to myself
Mm.
and protect myself, right? I don't have to live in survivor mode,
Right.
but
Yeah.
I don't have to share all my joy with every human just because they're in front of me. I'm
Mm. That's
allowed to,
powerful. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, well, and I think that there are people who don't know how to circulate their own vibration and their own positivity,
Mm.
and they're your vampires, right?
Yeah.
They are
Taking
predators
others.
on
Yeah.
children, on women.
Hmm.
I came into this world like, and even now, like, I just want to radiate joy. I
Yeah.
just want to radiate love, joy.
Yeah.
When I'm having a bad day, I literally, now I learned, oh, I'm alive to feel like crap.
Mm.
I got to play with this. Why do I feel like crap? Do I want to
Hmm.
listen to really deep, dark rage against the machine music
Yeah.
and play with the deep darkness of life?
Hmm.
Or no, I need to go for a run and get out of this mood. Like, right? So, you get to decide how you want to play with what you have, but I just share all the time, right? And I didn't recognize that I took it personally because sometimes I'm a fire hose and
Hmm.
I remember being in training and one of my fellow residents, do you always have to be so happy? Do you need to like we're working. I'm like, I'm loving learning. This is so fun. And this woman, let me just tell you, she was like Debbie Downer affect,
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah. I get it.
And she was a great doc, but boy, I don't
Mm,
know. Like she didn't radiate positivity, and
mm,
she did not like my positivity.
mm.
So can't
Well,
take it
I'll tell
personally.
you one thing. For this segment, it's going to be a lot of positivity. There's going to be, for everybody that's listening, just so you know, so we're going to do some more episodes like this, one-on-one. Dr. Tina, she might even bring on some guests. We might do some interviews. So it really is going to be another extension of a playground, I like to say, Dr. Tina's playground, and figuring out how we also can learn and grow together. So today, I have learned so much from you, Tina, and I'm truly grateful. Like I gotta go back, listen to this again, memorize some of these rhymes that you gave me today.
Yep.
But in the audience, do the same because we're going to be bringing Dr. Tina on again, and we're going to keep building out this catalog of knowledge for you all. That being said, how do people follow up? How do they connect? How do they listen to your other show and see your work?
Yeah.
Follow your work, Tina.
So Your Healing Playground airs live every Monday morning.
Hmm.
It's almost always live, but sometimes it is pre-recorded. And so it's on all, Spotify, Apple
Hmm.
Tunes. We put it on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And so you can find me there. My new website is halfway up and halfway, some of it's up and not done. And that's drtinaplays.com.
Hmm.
You could also women's reproduction because I help people reproduce for many, many years. So
Hmm.
womensreproduction.com. But Dr. Tina Plays is a website. Dr. Tina Plays on TikTok,
Yeah.
women's reproduction on Facebook and Instagram, basically.
Fantastic. And for everybody watching and listening to this, just so you know, we'll definitely put some links in the show notes so that you can connect with Dr. Tina and her work. And speaking of the audience, if this is your first time with Mission Matters and you haven't done it yet, hit that subscribe or follow button. This is a daily show. You heard me correct. Each and every day, we're bringing you new content, new ideas, and hopefully new inspiration to help you along the way in your journey as well. So hit that subscribe or follow button. And Tina, have fun. Have fun at the movie premiere tonight. I got to
Oh,
hear
let's
about
go
what it's
check
like
out the
next month when
movie.
we come back on or our next episode. I'm gonna have to hear about this.